Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 276. Tesla kinda broke the internet this week with the new videos of the Optimus robot. And it seems like full self-driving supervised will hit the streets of Australia very soon. And Tesla is showing off what the haters just don't get: scalability. And Elon has confirmed that Tesla doesn't see a demand problem. And Xpeng is seeing an all-time best financial quarter in Q1. And the Boring Company is to accelerate the Las Vegas Loop expansion plans. And both the Performance Model Y and the next-gen Model S were spotted at the Nürburgring this week. And Porsche was out admitting themselves that their market in China has literally collapsed. All of this and much more in today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
I have been talking about Tesla's demand, and how I see what Tesla has done with the shutdown of 4 factories around the world is very impressive. But the haters only see demand problems. But now, even Elon Musk has been out confirming the demand is fine. Don't worry about it. Elon was in another interview this week, but an embarrassingly bad interview. There was all questions about the critics of Tesla and Elon and his politics. Nothing positive at all. Terrible interview, toe crunching. But Elon did say in the interview that the sales numbers at this point are strong and we see no problem with demand. You can just look at the stock price. If you want the best insider information, the stock market analysts have that, and our stock wouldn't be trading near all-time high if things weren't in good shape. They are fine, don't worry about it. So good to hear that the demand is strong, but I don't know if I agree with the stock price analogy that Elon is using. I think that is more an indication that the analysts are looking beyond the automotive sales of Tesla that has declined in Q1 and know what is coming. But nice to get some confirmation about the demand problem that I have been showing is doing good with the Model Y ramp in mind. And now Elon confirms exactly that, as he also told CNBC in another interview with them.
We did a massive global retooling of all the factory lines for the Model Y, which is it's the majority of our vehicle sales is the Model Y. And the Model Y is the best-selling car on earth. Now
we just need to be a little patient to see the sales numbers rise again, as it doesn't happen overnight. As I have said from the beginning, we will probably not be back to normal levels before Q3, but someone like Fred Lambert is of course confusing demand with sales. As sure, the sale will be down because of the re-ramp of 4 factories around the world, especially in Europe, as that factory here only produces the Model Y. So we had nothing, literally nothing coming out of that factory to customers for at least 8 weeks. Shanghai made the ramp up to the first deliveries to customers in 6 weeks, so no doubt that the Berlin factory would be slower than that, so I'm guessing about 8 weeks. And like I said before, we don't have all Tesla's versions of the Model Y yet, so we are nowhere near last year's supply. But that has nothing to do with the demand. Currently demand is something Tesla sees. We don't. We only see the delayed demand effect with sales, but we have to wait until Tesla is back at full supply. And as I said, that will probably not happen before Q3. So strong demand is when Tesla China gets 200,000 pre-orders of the Model Y in 3 weeks in China. That shows huge demand. Or when Tesla says they had a record high test drive of the new Model Y in Australia. That shows huge demand. But we have not seen all the versions of the Model Y yet. They have basically only been delivering the launch edition so far. You know, the expensive one. And people think they can conclude demand from that. No, of course not. We have to wait until Tesla has ramped up production in all their factories with all their versions of the Model Y and have shipped them around the world to all their thousands of delivery centers, and not before that can we make a conclusion of Tesla's demand from Tesla's sales numbers. So for Fred to publicly say that Elon is simply lying, well, that is just Fred hating, because Fred does not know anything about it. He's looking at sales numbers to determine demand when they are not fully ramped. Now that is just misleading, Fred. That is basically just lying yourself. If Fred could see the order books, then he could say Elon was lying. But until we have fully ramped of all versions in all factories shipped around the world available for deliveries, before that, we, us looking from the outside in, really have no clue. We are all just guessing. And Fred is trying to use 5 country sales numbers to say he has proof of bad demand in Europe. He is getting desperate, or really just don't get it. He really just wants Tesla to fail, and we will no doubt hear him come out after Q2 and say, see, Tesla sales are down in Q2. I told you there was a demand problem. Still not getting it. But let's check back in Q3 and see if he was right with his guesses or if Elon was telling the truth about the demand. History will be the judge. And Tesla was not kidding when they said more to come soon about their Optimus robot, and boy, did it do more than just dance. Tesla's Optimus X account shared this very cool video showing the robots doing a huge amount of tasks that it had learned by watching videos of humans doing it. And as Milan, who works at Tesla, shared some very cool information about Tesla's significant advancement in the development of the Optimus robot, where it can now learn tasks directly from internet videos of humans, transitioning from first-person to third-person perspective, which accelerate the learning process compared to traditional tiller-operated method. This breakthrough is using a single neural network to execute multiple tasks instructed via natural language, so both text and voice, so they can talk to the robot and make it do tasks. So that's very cool to hear, and sounds like Grok language model is already integrated into the robot as it can understand human language, and they are enhancing the robot's multitasking capabilities and operational efficiency, and is part of a broader strategy to improve reliability through self-play in real and simulated environments. So Tesla can just show videos of people doing stuff to have the neural network try it out in simulation and in real life, so they can just show the robots millions of YouTube videos of people doing stuff, and the neural network can train it over and over again in simulation and then translate that to real life and try it out and very quickly learn new tasks. This is still just first-person videos, but soon they will also be able to do this with third-person videos. So as you can see, all of these tasks are done with the Gen 2 robot. So we're still waiting for the Gen 3 that will still be much better at doing all of these tasks. And we can see it can do various tasks from cooking, cleaning desktops, ironing shirts, taking out the garbage, closing the curtain, using a vacuum to clean the floor, using a microwave, open a cabinet, cleaning whiteboards, and so much more. And all of these tasks were learned directly from human videos and then told to do it, like open the cabinet. So it will quickly learn the task that it needs to be a useful robot at homes as well. This will no doubt be the last thing that Tesla will sell the robot to, private owners, but we can see the robot can quickly learn these tasks and will get a very good general understanding of the world around it and how to do tasks. And if there is something you want your Optimus robot to do that it has not seen before and don't understand the task at hand, you can simply show it the task and it can replicate it, just like they do with the videos, because that is exactly how they are learning all of these tasks. So that is very, very cool and a big breakthrough for not just learning new tasks faster, but also how it will be able to learn from future owners as well. Just show the robot what to do and it can do it. And Murtaza, that works at Tesla's Optimus robot, also wrote, "I want to make clear how crazy impressive this result is. We can now do bimanual dexterous manipulation across a wide range of tasks with barely any data on these skills coming from teleoperation. As we know, teleop does not scale, but it turns out human video does. This means that Optimus can now rapidly pick up new skills with significantly less effort than before. What's next? You guessed it, RL. Who would have guessed that humanoids are good for learning from humans? And RL is of course reinforcement learning, so this is truly a big deal, as this means the learning of the robots will be able to scale fast. We are only seeing the beginning of what's to come. If you want to learn more, I did make a whole video about this topic. Check that one out, link down below. And it seems like full self-driving will hit the streets of Australia very soon, showing off what the haters just don't get: scalability. As Drew, Tesla's country director for Australia, said that an expansion of Tesla's driverless features is high on Elon Musk's list of priorities. That's Elon's push, he said. We have a global engineering team that is working across markets around a lot of full self-driving, actually working across all markets to roll it out. And Drew said there is no regulatory barrier to the technology hitting Australian roads, only local calibration and finishing of the service. There is currently no blockers in Australia to release the full self-driving supervised as we have in North America, he said. It's something our business is working on releasing. I don't have any timeline current for you, but it's certainly very exciting to be able to bring that to a market that does not have a regulatory blocker. So that is very exciting. Full self-driving supervised coming to another market very soon. And funny how the haters continue to tell us, but Waymo has millions of miles driving as robotaxis, as Tesla has none. So Tesla has already lost, like good old Dan Clown here. And like I said before, be ready for a lot of haters laughing in the beginning because Tesla will start slowly and they will say, look, it's geofence and only 10 cars. And Dan is of course that predictable, as he wrote, claims it will launch 10 to 20 robotaxis inside a tiny geofence next month. Yes, Dan is comparing Nokia's 1 billion mobile phone customers to Apple's 0 mobile phone customers and saying, see, Nokia has already won. But Tesla must roll this out slowly, as every little incident will become headline news and people like Dan O'Clown will jump on it like a child on a bouncy castle. But Dan really doesn't get the technology behind it, or is he just trying to throw mud at Tesla because they will make his software business go out of business? But one that does get it is Nicholas, that wrote on X. Waymo started in 2009. They did their first ride with someone behind the wheel in April 2017. They did the first non-driver ride in October 2020. Today, 8 years after, they have 1,500 cars driving with teleoperated drivers. Tesla starts in a few weeks with 15 cars, scaling up to 1,000 within a few months. This is the true difference between pre-map solution and a general solution that Tesla Full Self-Driving has. It's scalability. Even if Elon is optimistic and get this wrong by 50%, we will still end up with 500 self-driving Tesla cars within a couple of months and probably a couple of thousand by the end of the year. So doing what took Waymo 7 years, Tesla will do in maybe 7 months. But I predict that Tesla will have more than 1,000 robotaxis on the street by the end of this year. But they will roll it out slowly. But as Elon also said in an interview this week, if Tesla wanted to, they could implement 10,000 robotaxis. But they want to take it slowly in the beginning. But just remember, Waymo only has a couple of hundred robotaxis in Austin. So Tesla will likely become a much bigger player in Austin than Waymo very fast and just keep scaling up from there. fast, which Waymo can't do. We already know that they will not have more than 3,500 robotaxis by the end of next year. As they have already told us, Tesla could have this by the end of this year, already overtaken Waymo, and just keep on scaling from there. It's all about scalability, which Waymo doesn't have. Just like Dan Ives said to Bloomberg, Tesla is going to go past Waymo with 100 miles an hour in the left lane in the next year.
Dan, how much of a challenge is coming from Waymo?
Look, Waymo are $230,000 cars, and they're essentially in 4 cities. Obviously, they'll expand. But I believe Tesla is going to go past Waymo 100 miles an hour in the left lane in the next year. In other words, I believe Tesla, from a market share perspective, given scale and scope and what they could do across the U.S., I think Waymo will be a rounding error relative to what Tesla could do on autonomous. Clearly, Waymo's had the leader. But I don't view that as something that's static. I think Tesla has a huge opportunity ahead of it.
So this he definitely gets, that Waymo's business model is simply not scalable, but Tesla's is. And Tesla's robotaxi network is going to be maybe 5 to 10 times more cost effective compared to Waymo's. Because Tesla had thought of everything, whereas Waymo has clearly not. Like we could see in this video of how Waymo has only been focusing on making a car that can drive itself, but has not thought it all through, like Tesla has with wireless charging, self-cleaning robots, and so on and so on. Here, the kilowatts are helping a stuck Waymo because someone has forgot to close the trunk.
Someone just forgot to close the door on this Waymo. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for them. On the screen it says you're here. There we go. You're welcome.
So Waymo's car can't close the trunk by themselves, which seems almost like a rookie mistake for a robotaxi company. Waymo is not ready for robotaxis at scale. Tesla is, but will take it slow, but then all at once. I have talked a lot about how legacy automakers are struggling in China, but now Porsche is coming out admitting that their market in China has literally collapsed. As Alex wrote on X, Porsche's CEO Bloomer, our market in China has literally collapsed. We already faced massive headwinds last year. Now we are experiencing a violent storm, said CEO Oliver Bloomer at the virtual annual general meeting on Wednesday. Our market in China is literally collapsing. We are not used to this from Porsche, said Bloomer, referring to the profit trend. And it's not something we could be satisfied with in the long term. Porsche is counteracting this with full force, he claimed. Costs are to be reduced and work is to be made more efficient, explained Bloomer. Complexity must be reduced, quality improved, and the product strategy further developed, for example, with new combustion models, he stated. Oh my God, like ICE cars will help them in China? What the hell is he thinking? ICE cars are already a dead man walking in China. But anyway, as Alex continues, Porsche's car must make the heart of customers around the world beat faster, explains Supervisory Board Chairman Wolfgang Porsche. The return on investment must improve significantly again. A storm and a headwind are external factors that cannot be influenced, but Porsche's problem is of internal nature. A CEO who cannot correctly describe the problem of his company should be dismissed because without a correct description of the problem, a solution is impossible. The chairman of the supervisory board, Wolfgang Porsche, supported Bloomer remaining CEO of Porsche when he was appointed CEO of the Volkswagen Group and is not part of the solution but part of the problem. Yes, and at the same time, Porsche is still having issues with their electric cars. Like Alex also shared, Porsche advises its customers not to charge the Taycan above 80 and not to park it near building, as there is a risk of fire. You can't make this shit up. Yes, Elon warned the whole industry about using pouch cells, but they didn't listen, and now they're paying the price. Pouch cell should not be used in any automotive or performance applications. So Porsche seems to be in a real crisis. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Secretary Sean Duffy stopped by the Tesla Gigafactory in Austin with Elon Musk to see firsthand the future of autonomous vehicles. We need American companies to keep innovating so we can outcompete the rest of the world. So nice to hear from politicians that they want to make regulation nationwide and not statewide for autonomous vehicles, as this will make it much easier for all robotaxi companies to make truly useful robotaxis that can take you everywhere you want to go. And Europe NCAP announced the result of its latest round of assessment, and the Model 3 received a 5 out of 5 stars and an overall score of 90%, making it one of the safest vehicles tested under the most recent and stricter testing protocol. Yes, safety is the number one feature at Tesla. Model S, Model 3, Model X, Model Y come standard with all safety features included at no extra cost. All Tesla vehicles tested in recent years have earned the Best-in-Class award from Europe NCAP, Legacy Model 3, the Model X, the Model S and Legacy Model Y in 2022. Congrats to Tesla for achieving yet another high safety score. And AJ shared the state of Xpeng after their earnings report as he wrote, Chinese EV maker Xpeng, which is expanding aggressively into Europe, reported today Q1 result. The key takeaway observations: this has been Xpeng's all-time best financial quarter. The company sells at a run rate of almost 400,000 vehicles, $9 billion in revenue and over 15% gross margin, and thus demonstrate that even this scale is insufficient to generate positive returns due to very high R&D and SG&A requirements. As we can see, they lost $133 million in Q1. So still some way to go, but getting closer now, just like Tesla became profitable for the first time the year they sold 500,000 vehicles. Looks like it's going to be something similar for Xpeng, but huge growth in sales from Xpeng, so that's nice to see. And the Boring Company is to accelerate the Vegas Loop expansion plans after overcoming fire safety hurdles. Like Steve Hills, the Las Vegas Convention and Visitor Authority president and CEO, said during last week's board meeting. It's new. It's taken a little time to figure out what the standard should be. We've gotten there. We're excited about that, and we're ready to expand further, faster than we have. Nice. And Sawyer shared, Tesla recently filed 2 trademark applications for the official word marks of the Cybercab and Robotaxis. Both marks feature the cyberpunk design aesthetics similar to the style of the Cybertruck word mark. The Robotaxi mark below is expected to appear in the Tesla app next month when you hail a Model Y Robotaxi in Austin. And Tesla Energy shared a nice little video about a family that got a Powerwall back in 2018 because of Hurricane Irma, so they never had to worry about electricity again.
We've got more than 5 million people across the state of Florida right now without power.
After the third day of having lost power, one at a time you'd hear a generator just shut down and sputter out and sputter out.
Couldn't get gas.
And so nobody could get electricity, and all of a sudden the place went dark. Then the Powerwall became available.
And for me to be able to not have to worry in the middle of the night about all of this because it was just so seamless.
Absolute peace of mind that my family was comfortable and safe and had everything that they needed, even if the power went out.
But it's not just about having backup power. It can also help you reduce your electric bill, as Tesla shared this post that wrote, well, that was pretty neat. This eve, for almost 1.5 hours, our Powerwall 3 sold energy back to the grid at almost $3 per kilowatt. We usually either generate it for free with solar or buy it at 9.5 cents per kilowatt. So we made over $50 credit in that short time. Thanks, Tesla Energy. Not bad at all. And Michael Dawn wrote, the East is red. Hungary is the top destination for Chinese investment in Europe 2 years in a row. West European share fades. Hungary accounts for 31% of all Chinese investment in Europe in 2024, retaining its position as the top destination for a second consecutive year. In contrast, the combined share of the UK, Germany and France fell to just 20%, down from an average of 52% over the previous 5 years. China's direct investment in Europe rises for the first time in 7 years. Yes, China has built out their automotive capacity in China, and now they're coming for Europe. And Hungary is the easiest and cheapest way in here. As we know from BYD, that will open its first European car factory by the end of this year in Hungary. And Joe Tagmeyer shared these videos and pictures and wrote, "Yet more transformers are arriving today at Giga Texas." Elon Musk has mentioned transformers as one of the critical path items for AI data centers, along with power generation and GPUs. So stockpiling so many may be Tesla getting ahead of the limitation. Yes, Tesla is definitely cooking up something big behind the curtains. But Tesla is not the only one that is showing off humanoid robots doing useful stuff this week. Figure's Brad just shared this video and wrote, "On Friday, Figure completed a 20-hour run of back-to-back shift on BMW's X3 production line. We've been running 10-hour shift for several weeks now, and as far as we know, Figure and BMW are the first in the world to do this with humanoid robots. Very cool. We can't see if the robot is still getting the pieces from this rack we have seen before, where humans have to put the pieces into the rack, but still very cool video that shows what will come in the near future. We don't need AGI for a robot to do tasks like this." And we got a look at the 2026 Tesla Model S facelift spotted at the Nürburgring, with new front bumper design and back with more aggressive styling, an additional front lip and a new wheel design. So it doesn't seem to be a big makeover it will get, but it will be interesting to see what they have come up with. And that they are not discontinuing the Model S. And speaking of new Tesla models, we did also see a camouflaged Model Y at the Nürburgring, as CarScoop wrote in their article. New Tesla Model Y performance, brakes cover, plaid wheels and all. We caught up with the prototype of the refreshed Model Y variant testing undercover on the Nürburgring track. So that's cool to see. You know, one of the models that are still missing in Tesla's lineup. So still not fully ramped, Fred, but it will probably be at least 3 months before we see this performance version ready for deliveries, if the timeline from the refreshed Model 3 is anything to go by. And AJ shared some information about Toyota's BEV business, and they continue to be the industry lacquer, as he wrote. BEV sales stagnated, even slightly decreased on a trailing 12-month basis for the first time in March 2025. BEV adoption continues to be extremely low at just 1.4% of total sales, making Toyota one of the slowest adapters of BEVs. Toyota points to the ongoing severe market environment, including the shift to new energy vehicles and intensifying price competition in China. Key takeaway: Toyota, the largest automaker globally by vehicle units sold, remains largely irrelevant in the BEV segment. And Tesla might finally get access to South African market, as Brian wrote on X. South Africa's president aims to mend US ties with Musk business push. One potential proposal would be for Tesla to receive favorable tariffs on its import into South Africa in exchange for building electric vehicle charging stations. Secondly, allowing Starlink to operate in South Africa by investing in equity equivalent initiative that directly benefits targeted communities. Nice. And Elon Musk also said in the interview with CNBC that XAI is currently building a 1 million GPU supercluster near Memphis. This is separate from XAI's current 200,000 GPU cluster that was already built. As Elon said, 1 million of the next-gen GPUs, it's a gigawatt-class system. It'll be done in 6 to 9 months. Like I said in other news shows, when we saw the Megapacks arrive at the site, this will probably be the first gigawatt-class system, and it seems like it will. And that it will be done in 6 to 9 months should scare all other competitors. And the cost of this new supercomputer cluster called Colossal 2 is expected to be well north of $25 billion. Damn! And before we end with a bit of fun, I just want to thank everyone that is supporting this channel. I truly could not keep this channel afloat without your support. Yes, thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this show. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. If you want a performance car, stick with electric. ICE performance cars are so dead, and this one, literally. Ouchie. That is all we have time for in this new show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot so others can find it on YouTube. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And if you're already a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for the support. But if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel or become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out as some extra perks like early access, ad-free versions of my videos, exclusive videos. So hit the members button or check out Patreon to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on X. I post pretty much all the news as it comes out and a lot more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. It is also possible to support the show without becoming a member or a patron. There is a donation option down below or on my website bestintesla.com. You can also become an executive producer and get news articles, exclusive videos, behind the scenes, and access to all my research charts and spreadsheets also on bestintesla.com, or as simple as hitting the super like button. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.